Let us sing this song by Karen Drucker, You Are the Face of God, as we bless each and every father in our lives, or father figure in our lives. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God.
The face of God. Friends, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze for just a moment and relax into your seat. And shift your awareness and your intention to that still, quiet place that is illuminated in consciousness. That place where the individualized spark of the Christ is showing up in your life. And in that still, soft, quiet place of possibility, I invite you to use that faculty of imagination and see every person who led by example, each person in your life who showed up with those divine attributes of strength and wisdom. These faculties of spirit that in this manifest world so often get pushed over to the masculine, but we know that they are in each and every one of us. Strength and wisdom. Shown to us by those people who would strengthen us, who would gift us with a discernment of spirit. See their faces in your mind right now. And with a heart overflowing with gratitude, bless each and every one of them. Bless their presence in your life. And we know that life is eternal, and so we bless them in the here and the now. For in spirit there is only right here and right now, and so we bless these people. We give thanks for the wisdom and the strength that show up in our individualized expression of the one. And as each of these faces fade in and out in your memory, in your imagination, I invite you to spend just a few moments in the stillness and in the silence, and to be aware of how they, each one of them, lives in you. Giving thanks in the stillness. We bless all fathers today. And in our hearts, we see each of these faces and we recognize you are the face of God. You are the face of God. And so we give thanks for the face of God. We bless the fathers in our lives. And we hold gratitude for the strength and the wisdom that still lives in us. And so now, whenever it feels comfortable and feels right, I invite you to come back to the space and the time here in Playground Planet Earth where we are apparently separated in different bodies, in different places, in different time zones. But come into this space and recognize the strength and the wisdom in every person you meet. See them as the face of God. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Let us sing. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of God. And as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, I will sing this one for you. This one is one of mine. It's called Show Me. I place my life in your hands, and I place my trust in you. Yes, as I walk through the valley of shadows and fear, you are the light that guides me through. Oh, show me what I need to hear. Oh, show me what I cannot see. I know you guide me on the road ahead. I am at peace, knowing God is always there with me. I place my life in your hands, and I place my trust in you. And yea, as I walk through the valleys of shadows and fear, you are the light that guides me through. what I cannot see. I know you guide me on the road ahead. My life is at peace, knowing God is always there with me. Oh, show me what I need to hear. Show me what I cannot see. I know God will guide me on the road ahead. I am at peace. I know God is always there with me. Yes, I am at peace. I know God is always there with me. Ears of Todd.
Sounded like it was going to keep going. Thank you, Deidrey. Oh, and thanks to everyone who read this morning. Especially Joanna, because I asked her and I didn't even let her look at it first, and those were a lot of big words in Spanish. Reminds me of my days in French class where if you say enough things with confidence, people just believe it. That it's correct. If y'all have ever experienced that. I was having a conversation this week, and we were talking about the appearances inside of us of fear in the world, and we're in this. We're talking a little bit about being stuck these days, and at first I was going to title this "Stuck in Fear," but then fear is so over talked about, and it's over spiritualized, and there and what it came to me is that today people are not simply afraid. We're not just simply afraid. I think that we're disoriented. Like we're a little bit off kilter, right? Because the world that we thought that we understood is increasingly unfamiliar. Have you noticed this? Right? Because world politics does not look, I thought that by now it would be like Star Trek, right? One world government, we are, everybody's shining and we're off to explore the galaxy. Now, there is, maybe y'all have noticed this some in your own lives, but there is social fragmentation. In families, in workplaces, in communities, even in churches. Y'all notice that? Social fragmentation. We have some climate concerns. I wasn't worried about climate concerns when I was in high school because I didn't think that we would live to see this day because I was sure that, there was going to be big mushroom clouds all over the world and we were all going to already be gone. But now we have climate concerns like drought, right? And I love it when it rains because I want those water towers to be full because y'all want me to shower on a regular basis, right? Some people are experiencing some financial uncertainty. Did y'all know that? Because some people are experiencing financial concerns because they're not sure how their portfolio is going to do in the coming months. And some people have financial concerns because they don't know if they can put enough gas in their car to get to work on a regular basis because they're driving from New Bern to come to the coast to clean rooms. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little disoriented because I thought that my body was going to work the same and look the same my entire life. And that's not happening to me. Maybe not to you either. Maybe not to your loved one. So we all have some, some physical health challenge concerns. Some of us have some mental health concerns. There have been shifts in families. And I don't know if y'all know it, but there seems to be some institutional instability in the world. Right. So I don't think that today we primarily wrestle with fear, right? I think that we wrestle with disorientation. And that roadmap that we thought that, because it was laid out for us, this is what the American dream looks like. This is what the Canadian dream looks like. This is what life is going to look like. And the map doesn't match anymore. Have y'all noticed? And so I think that we all become disoriented when life reveals that certainty for us was never promised. Certainty was never promised. We become unsettled when life reveals that control was always, to some degree, an illusion. And for me, I can tell you that my anxiety rises when reality no longer matches the story that I made up to make myself feel safe. For me, the reality, was that, if I carry myself in a certain way, if I lower my voice, if I keep my hands in my pockets so that I'm not, waving around all the time. But am I really understandable if I'm not moving my hands around? Right? So, and so, when I do this and I'm in the wrong spot, suddenly I'm like this. Y'all haven't seen that, but buddy, it makes my friend Sarah laugh. When suddenly my voice drops an octave. It's this is part of this progression of looking at, like, are we stuck? What if we're not stuck? What if we cannot be stuck? Because we have these stories. Y'all have your stories? I have my stories. We have our past that sometimes, we turn and we look at the past. And we also have what happens when our stories collapse and when our attachment to the past collapses. And while some of us, me, I'm talking about myself, I might collapse dramatically. I know the rest of y'all don't do that. I know I'm very dramatic. My family tells me that I'm dramatical, and I know that's not a word. But we Appalachians, we make up our own words. But here's the thing, is that we adapt. When things become uncertain, we adapt. And we survive. And what I've realized is that I want us to understand, I want us to have a collective understanding of what I mean when I say survival, when we get stuck in survival. Survival is not panic. It's not weakness at all. And it's not even necessarily visible to others. Maybe not even to ourselves, right? What I believe today is that survival is the narrowing of life around the attempt to create safety and self-protection through control. Let me control everything that's going on around so that I can survive this. Yeah. Let me control where all the chairs are put so that I can stay focused. And y'all, you think I joke about this, but I walked in here this morning with Kath, and there was an extra chair up here on this row. And I started having, twitches. Right? We manufacture safety through overzealous control. Not just me. I think all of us do this. Is we get overzealous. That's zeal, the orange the orange one, that we overzealously try to control things around us, right? Because we're disoriented. Survival's not evil. And survival, it does protect us. But what protects us in a crisis imprisons us when it becomes our identity. What protects us in a crisis imprisons us when it becomes our identity. And it often sounds very respectable, right? I mean, because maybe you've said, maybe you or one of your close friends, you've heard them say this, I'm just being realistic. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm protecting myself. I already know how this is going to end. Not only are you in control, but you're a medium. How about that? Cynicism is often disappointment that has learned to call itself wisdom. Cynicism is often disappointment that has learned to call itself wisdom. We're stuck in survival sometimes, and I think one of the ways we identify that is we go, did that sound cynical? Maybe. Here's what I know. We influence a lot. We know that we influence a lot because we talk about it every Sunday when we come together, when we recite our 5 principles. Whatever we hold in thought, our thinking and feeling nature shapes our experience of life, right? So we influence a lot of stuff. We influence our experience of life, but we do not control it. We control very little. We can influence habits, our attention. We can influence choices that other people make, that we make, that our households make. We can influence choices that our governments make. We can influence boundaries. We can influence participation, but we cannot control timing or outcomes or other people. Underline that. We cannot control other people. We cannot control illnesses. We cannot control loss. And we cannot control mortality. And I think survival is our personality, right? Because we are fully human in expression with this personality that wants to keep us safe. And we are fully divine in possibility. It's the truth of who we are, right? But our survival is our personality's attempt to manufacture safety through control. But we have this faculty of spirit, faith. And it reveals something that can be very difficult to accept. Control was never actually available. Control was never actually available. The more desperately we cling to control, the smaller life becomes, the more constricted we become. And it's we're stuck in survival, and we get to say things like, but I just want to be safe. I just want to make sure I'm safe. I want to be safe. But what I mean when I say I just want to be safe is I want things to be predictable. I want this to be predictable. Much of what we call safety is really the desire for predictable conditions. Do you see this in yourselves? Maybe you just see it in me. And if you see it in me, it's in you too. I'm just saying. So how does survival show up in our lives? How does survival show up in our consciousness? And so, you know anybody who's worried these days? If you're constantly worried, you're in survival. We are always scanning everything for the threat. What could go wrong? What am I missing? And we have this chronic mental rehearsal of seeing, well, I know how this is going to end, and it is not good. Cynicism is premature certainty. I already know how this ends. Cynicism is certainty without revelation. There's a good church word for y'all today. Cynicism is certainty without revelation, without that inner knowing of spirit. Cynicism is attached to our personality versus living from our individualized expression of the one. And when we're living that way, we become emotionally numb. We withdraw from our own aliveness. We withdraw from other people who seem to be alive. And there is a reduction. It's not always noticeable. It creeps up on us. And suddenly we realize, oh, I have less joy. I have less wonder. I have less vulnerability in my life. I have less intimacy in my life. And while we're not panicking, we do live smaller. We live smaller. And this survival strategy, it leaks into our relationships. It does. And here's what I believe today about survival is that survival wants a scapegoat. Right? Because when we can blame something outside of ourselves, we have this illusion of control. Right? And we blame everybody. Have y'all noticed that? We blame our mothers and fathers. We blame our children. We blame our spouses. We blame the culture. We blame the politicians. Sometimes we blame the church leadership. Shocking. Sometimes we blame God. Blame is survival's attempt to turn this helplessness that we're experiencing into certainty. To absolve ourselves, right? So we want to blame. And then and what I know about survival is that it narrows our compassion. It narrows our compassion, and suddenly we are less curious and more reactive. Right? When we're in survival mode and somebody says something we don't like, we don't say, "Tell me more." We pull out our soapboxes and we stand up on top of them and we puff up our chests and we point and we tell them why they're wrong. I'm sure you know someone who's done that. Maybe you've done that. Right? Instead of tell me more, we go, "Why are you doing this to me?" And then I read stuff on the internet, and it's like, those people, they'll end a relationship over this little disagreement. to me the scariest thing, the thing about survival that touches that place of fear in me, and this to me is the real danger of being stuck in survival, is that we stop risking the experience of life, the experience of love, the experience of all of these 12 faculties, of truly stepping into the wellspring of life within us and living fully. When we are in survival, we get stuck. I wanted to turn to a story from our scriptures today about a father. Jairus, the story of Jairus in Mark 5. And some of you are like, who are you talking about, Todd? Jairus. It's one of the healing miracles of Jesus. Right? Jairus is a father. I might be saying his name wrong. Y'all know me, my Appalachian dialect. And I'm pretty sure that in Aramaic he wasn't called Jairus. It was probably something different. But Jesus is, in a throng of people and he's healing people. And Jairus is like, my daughter's sick and I need you to come and heal my daughter. Because his daughter is dying. And he is seeking Jesus because he knows of the miracles. Now, I want you to notice what this father can control. Very little. He can ask, he can seek, he can move. But before he can get to Jesus, Jesus has stopped to heal a woman who has an issue with blood. Jairus could react. He could get kind of angry and mad, right? Why stop now? Why did he have to heal her first? If you had moved faster, because what happens, what we are told in our scripture is that his daughter dies. And then the people around him, the other followers, begin to say, oh, well, your daughter is gone. Why bother the teacher now? Your daughter is gone. Why bother the teacher? And this is the survival moment, right? It's not the death. It's the message underneath everyone saying, don't go bother the teacher now. Don't go bother our rabbi now. Don't do this. Don't go here. It's the underneath message is stop asking, stop hoping, stop moving. Withdraw yourself from this. And every one of those voices that is calling him back, telling him to stop, to withdraw, to remove himself from this, those voices all live in our heads as well. Right? Because everyone that is in Scripture is a part of our consciousness as we begin to understand the unfoldingness, moving us from separation back to knowing our oneness with the Father. And so we all have these voices that tell us, stop, don't do that. Don't get to there. But instead he continues, and Jesus says, do not fear, only believe. Do not fear, only believe. Now, this is not about denying reality. And it is not about suppressing grief. And it's not to pretend that death isn't real. Jesus says, do not fear, only believe. Jesus is saying, don't withdraw. Don't you step back from this experience. Don't you go away, right? Because survival is telling us to withdraw, but our faculty of faith says remain available, stay present, be here now. Survival will close us down. And faith tells us to participate fully. So the first miracle is not what happens to his daughter. The first miracle is that Jairus keeps walking after he has every reason to stop. Every reason to stop, and he keeps going. In our 12 powers, Charles Fillmore gives us faith, pairs it with hope, with strength. As he, in most spiritual traditions, faith is taught to mean a belief. But I want you to know that unity says something much more radical. It's not just belief. It is a spiritual faculty. It is a capacity of our consciousness. Faith is our inner capacity to perceive divine possibilities beyond any present appearance. And Eric Butterworth, the writer, the minister that we'll explore on Tuesday night, Eric Butterworth taught that there are two ways of living. Living from the outside in and from the inside out. And outside living says, if I can manage all of these circumstances, I can be okay. If I can control what's happening out here, I can be okay. And if the news improves, if the diagnosis changes, if others approve, then and only then I can breathe and I am safe. Inside out living says, my life does not originate in circumstances. It unfolds from the Spirit of God within. My life does not originate in what is appearing before me, does not originate in circumstances. It unfolds from within. That divine spark of individualized expression. And it does not eliminate uncertainty, but it exposes something that is harder to accept, and that is the truth, that certainty was never available. When we are in survival consciousness, we are seeking control and predictability and withdrawal. And when we are living from our spiritual consciousness, when we are living from the inside out, we seek participation. We seek presence. We become available to life. And our unity teachings are not inviting us to deny facts, right? Lowercase facts of what appears. And I've told you before that facts sometimes evolve over time. Right? It used to be a fact that that if you sneezed, then an evil spirit could jump into your body and take over. And that's why we bless people when they sneeze. I saw a meme this week that said the whole reason that this man was gay is because that he sneezed when he was 6 years old and nobody said bless you. And now he has had to live with that evil spirit all his life. You see how ridiculous that is, right? So we're not asking to deny facts, but unity says do not surrender your spiritual authority to appearances. Do not surrender your spiritual authority to what you are perceiving in Playground Planet Earth. Sometimes we're stuck in survival. All of us. And so, I want to know. I want you to question, where has survival been leading you? Have you noticed yourself closing down to experiencing joy or generosity or intimacy? Have you withdrawn from the calling of your heart? Have you closed off to hope? Have you decided not to be of service in the world? Survival is not about protecting our peace. It is about protecting ourselves from disappointment. And so your practice for this week, because it's not enough to hear the words, we must put the truth into action in our lives. And so if this whispers of truth to you, capital T, truth, then your practice for the week is to notice and to ask yourself, where am I withdrawing from life in the name of control? And then ask, what would faith do next? What would faith do next? None of us needs certainty to remain open. And yes, our survival gets a vote, but it does not get to lead. We don't have to have control of the future in order to participate fully in what God is doing now. And the activity of God is here and present. Survival will say, protect yourself. And spirit within says, stay open. Your invitation this week is to relax all that is in you that wants to control everything and to show up and participate in what life is bringing your way. Because the opposite of survival is not our safety. It is aliveness. It is aliveness. I have come that you might have life. Not safety, not certainty. I have come that you might have life abundantly. And friends, that's what I was directed to share with you this week as I sat on my rock and listened. Thanks for being present. I love you all.
Thank you, Rev Todd, for your powerful messages. I'm so inspired. I'll build these walls from heartbreak and disaster. Learn to call it wisdom. Learn to move faster. Vigilant for danger. Bracing for the fall. Till I couldn't feel the sacred through it all. Barely been breathing. I haven't been alive. Guarding every doorway, hiding deep inside. But Spirit gently whispers through the I've known. You were made for more than just surviving alone. It's not enough to just survive. My soul deserves the chance to thrive. Plant my faith in the holy, 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 where fiercest hide. Love keeps calling me. Survival gets a vote, but it won't lead me. I'm learning how to live abundantly. I'm claiming who I was always meant to be. Every scar is a reason to be to be careful. Every loss says hope is too fragile. Yet my faith meets me when I'm standing at the edge, teaching me to surrender, and it's the strongest step I've made yet. And so I open up the windows to refresh my spirit. Let the light in, even though I'm scared to feel it. I won't let my wounds be my only story now. Love is writing something bigger somehow. It's not enough to just survive. My soul deserves the chance to thrive. Plant my faith in the holy, 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 where fiercest hide. Love keeps calling me. Survival gets a vote, but it won't lead me. I'm learning how to live abundantly. I'm claiming who I was always meant to be. It's not enough, no, to just survive. My soul deserves the chance to thrive. Put my faith in the holy, 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 where fear said hide. Love keeps calling me. Survival gets a vote, but it won't lead me. I'm learning how to live abundantly. I'm claiming who I was always meant to be.
Well, I was not expecting that. Deidrey, I gave you that word salad on Friday, I think.
Yes,
And you wrote that?
I did.
Wow. Glad you're feeling better. Love you, my friend. Thank you. It is a joy to be in ministry with you.